I wanted to do a end of year update. I got some new enclosures over here. And as you can tell, they are doing the job that I wanted them to do, bringing that humidity up in those enclosures and keeping that heat inside too. It does have ventilation on the side. We'll just get into talking about these right away. Here's the ventilation on the side here. So I mean, it's not all being trapped. These enclosures, these top two, I mean, all three of them are 6 feet long. All three of them are also 24 inches deep. That bottom one is 24 inches high, and these middle two are 18 inches high. And this I've kind of been playing around my temperature gauge where it's at. It is lower right now just because I was just messing around in there. I put my Dalmatian Sermons in here. There is still 4 of them here going strong. The gel, 4 of them, well, 3 of the 4 are there. I don't know where the 4th one is. The old enclosure, I could always find where they're hanging out. See, one was here earlier. But I've been moving this between the box turtle enclosures and the tortoise enclosures, just trying to get a gauge on what the temps and the humidity are sitting like. And this middle enclosure, in fact, I've turned the heat lamp off a couple of times. It seems a little too humid and warm in there at times. I'm only using 50-watt bulbs in there. I did put the Repti bark on this side just because it helps keep that water cleaner. And they're climbing in there. The ferns, just pick these up. That's why there's tags in there. But I'm going to keep them in pots. Otherwise, the tortoises just mess with them too much. Even the box turtles mess with them a lot too. But I was using the Waterland tubs for my box turtles, and I was using that closed chamber for the tortoises. I mean, the closed chamber was working pretty good, but these are even working even better. On this side here, got one of my male box turtles here. I don't know if I'm going to hang on to the 2 males I do have left. I'm just going to cut it down to just one. I've got the lights mounted on the inside here, and that's why I only got a heat lamp on one side. It's been mounted yet because I'm just unsure if I'm going to keep both of them or not. He's my first box turtle. I mean, and the other male on the other side keeps scaling this divider I put in here and fighting with this male. So, I gotta try to figure out something. See, he already knocked this fern down. I'm not gonna keep this in here with him. That's what I was worried about. I'm just gonna put this up here for now. But that's my other male, Florida. He's the second one I had gotten as a hatchling, and he's got really awesome colors. He's just not very nice to the females. And down here, I got my female Floridas. So you can tell, she's burrowed down there. And actually with these tanks, they don't come this wide. His bottom strip is usually round like this size, but I had him do double the size just so I could put a little bit more substrate in there. And because of that, he did have these dividers, not dividers, but these braces put down the middle of it. Otherwise, these doors would bind up. I need to add more stuff in here. that fern's back in there in that pot. I can get more pots like that, I think. I don't do too much though, because the whole idea with this was to allow these box turtles to do a lot of burrowing, possibly some nesting in here. Really happy with them though. I mean, this one's not, I mean, it's humid in here. Humidity's high. It's just not as high in these taller enclosures than the short ones are doing. The only downside is if I had those short ones down here, then just be not as easy for me to get down there and access. So those are my PVC enclosures that I had done. Local guy by me does Northwoods cages, Ron Jensen. If anyone is wondering, it's just up here in Coon Rapids, Minnesota. About 45 minutes or so for me. And then over here, I got the Spangler eye are all moved on this top shelf over here. I know I just put some crickets in here for him. She was just in the bowl not that long ago. So you see these ferns have just taken over in here. Oh, there she is, way back in the corner. The video's gonna pick her up at all. There she is. It is a little bit dimmer in here because I had to use one of the longer lights I had in the PVC until I get bulbs again for those longer ones, because I do have a longer one. I just have a bad bulb in here. So I kind of got it spread out on 2 tanks here. I've got 2 of my Florida's hatchlings from last year in here. She was just mowing down crickets, and oh, she's right in front here. And I got one back in the corner. I don't think the video is gonna probably pick it up. Oh, there she is, poking her head out. A lot of people keep their young Florida's hatchlings in aquatic setups. They just keep them in New Zealand sphagnum moss to keep it real wet. As you can tell, it's working out great. Look at her shell. And same with the Floridas over there. I mean, every one of those except for 2 I started off as hatchlings, and the other 2 I got as adults from a friend. There I got my other Spangler eye. Moved her over on this side of the room. I think she's begging. You know, I just put crickets in there for them. I do have both my Spangler eye eating pelleted food now. I'll drop it in the food in this water dish here, and they chow. Water's a little dirty, and I promise I did just switch that out yesterday. So you can tell, plants again, going crazy in here. And I also help keep the humidity up with these little polycarbonate sheets I put. There's actually 2 here. I slid this one over to allow a little bit more air in here. I have an extra Exotero tank. I haven't put anything in it yet, and that was just me starting to make some substrate. Maybe another Spangler eye at some point would be awesome. And down here, got my female spotteds. There is 3 in here. They might be all in this. Oh, let me see one here. I'll lift this lid up here. Barely. I don't think the camera's gonna pick this up. then this year, again, I went back to the divider with my males. And this little stinker, this one in particular, can scale this, even with the lip on here. So I'm still trying to figure that one out. I actually did take down one whole setup to get those PVCs over there. One male, and there's another, my dark male is right here. Fighting through side. I think I can get some plants, put them along here, give a visual barrier break. And the two of them aren't always in here. A lot of times one of them is rotated out with the females. In fact, the one dark male was just with the females not that long ago. And down here, I've got just two females in here. So one of these females is quite a bully to the other females. And once in a while she'll chase this other female around too, but not nearly as bad at all compared to what she's done to other females. But there's two in here. Another one must be under the log. And then here, I've got a bunch of spotted hatchlings. Well, they're pretty well started at this point. It's all light plants in here too, just like you see in the other spotted tubs. It's all light plants, well, minus this stuff here. It's like a baby hideout. Stuff they use for fish, and I just cut the center out. Hatchlings love sitting in there. I've got two holdback spotteds I did keep in here, and they're super bright, but there's 6 other ones in here too that I will be parting with. Just this time of year shipping isn't very desirable, even though we've had a pretty warm winter here in Minnesota so far. And there's just tons of guppies in here. It's near impossible when I'm cleaning this stuff out to not suck up some guppies. It's also still, betta fish is still in here too, because I just did a cleaning a couple days ago and I did see him swimming around in there. So he's been in here for at least a good solid year now. And then I've got one more tank I'll show you guys. This is the I moved 3 of my juvenile females back out here. There's one right there. Being they're not producing eggs and they're young, I felt it was better to put these 3 over here. And I might attempt to add one of these females as they get more size to them in that one tub with the one female that likes to bully, and just keep an eye on it. Or possibly part with that bully female. And then I'd be at a good number, because these are all juveniles here. One of these should start producing in the spring. I do have a heater in this water now. For the longest time I didn't. Now winter, it gets a little cool in my downstairs, so guppies are just taking over. And there's a lot more than what there was, because I did take down that extra setup I had. I want to change this basking area too. I mean, it's working, but it's not how it will essentially like it to be. And as you can tell, I got rid of my geckos. It was just too cluttered for me. And liked the turtles a lot more. I was enjoying them a lot more, where the geckos, believe it or not, turtles just move a lot more than what those geckos ever did. And I'm sitting down here too. I can just sit back and just watch this tank, watch the fish, watch the turtles. Geckos, I'd maybe see them move maybe once during the hour. These were, at one point, hatchlings that I had produced. Well, I think I'm going to wrap this up then. If you have any questions, leave a comment below. And I hope and wish everybody a happy 2024. Thanks for watching.